Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the National Wrestling Shooters. I'm Cody Braden here, shooting with him as always, and today it is another episode number 2 of the Raw Rebound, and I'd like to call this one Repeat Raw Rematch, or Raw Repeat Rematch, because overall thoughts at the very beginning, general thoughts, and then we'll go into the details as to what happened and thoughts on every single little thing. This was kind of a copy-paste from last week, almost. Same things, couple different things, and yeah, a couple new things switched around, roles reversed, and sprinkle some couple small little new things on top, new developments, and that's basically all that changed about this Raw. However, I will say, might have been better than what they did last week. An argument could be made there. I kind of found myself enjoying this one a little bit more than what I did last week. Even though it was the same edition of Raw, which is weird, but I'm impressed. Before we begin, though, guys, this Monday Night Raw, and as you guys may be aware, the legend known as Big Van Vader, Leon White, tragically passed away. I believe this past Friday. I really hope I didn't get the dates wrong. I do apologize if I do. Those of you that don't know, Vader was one of the better big men of the sports entertainment in the wrestling business. And he's a big star in Japan. He was a big star in WCW. And didn't really break the big glass ceiling that he was going to in WWE. But Leon White was battling with heart problems, I think, for the better part of a year or two before he was unfortunately on borrowed time. He said he was going to keep going as long as he possibly could. Unfortunately, his heart did give out, and he tragically did pass away. My condolences do go to the family of Leon White, also known as Big Van Vader. Raw opened up with a the usual tribute deal that they do whenever someone passes away, out of respect for them. And if I may say one thing real quick, and WWE has a real bad habit of doing this, and it really needs to change. Vader, I'm going to say Vader is definitely going to go to the Hall of Fame, and he really should have gone last year. I think Vader made it openly clear that he wanted to go in the WWE Hall of Fame, and it sucks that he never got the chance to go while he was still on this planet. And it just leaves a bad taste whenever they're like, oh, now we're going to do it. It's always just kind of a bad taste. And they've had a bad rep of doing that, and it just doesn't feel right. Although he should definitely go in the Hall of Fame, I think that'd be a great way to pay tribute to him. I just really think it should have happened a lot sooner. But, all the talk aside about Vader, may he rest in peace. It is now time for Monday Night Raw. As advertised, we got a Intercontinental Championship main event of the eating, which we'll get to in a little bit. The show opens with Baron Corbin, or Constable Corbin, in the ring with Kurt Angle. Kurt's introduced, made his way down in the ring. Roman Reigns comes down to the ring after Angle starts talking for a little bit. Bobby Lashley comes down. Ultimately, these two go back and forth. Kurt says, yeah, Brock pulled out of the deal. Match isn't happening. Multi-man match is not happening. It's going to be Lashley and Roman at Extreme Rules. And Lashley's like, what do you mean you pulled out of the deal? And Roman is like, hey, you've been under a rock. Have you not known what Brock Lesnar is about? Brock doesn't give a damn. The usual Brock, anti-Brock deal. And I kind of liked how they teased. Well, Roman's like, well, as a matter of fact, Roman doesn't give a shit. And then before he said the word, of course, Kurt Angle's like, Roman, we know how you feel. And Bobby's like, well, maybe if Brock had a legit challenger instead of standing in front of the ring with the same guy over and over and over again. He's sick and tired of facing you. He's sick and tired of seeing your face, just like the crowd. Now, there's a nice little line there for Bobby. They're doing better work on Bobby. Obviously, Bobby's thing with Sammy, and ever since he came back, it was just kind of like, why are they doing with Bobby? Like, they could have they could do a lot better with Bobby. And now it looks like they're focusing on, you know, sec. Let's look at the more recap and all that. Yeah, a match of Extreme Rules. Revival comes out, and hey, look at this. A rematch from last week. It is Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns versus the Revival. Same thing as last week, you know, Bobby and Roman, you know, trying to one-up each other, look like a good team. End of the match, Bobby goes for a spear. Roman tags himself in, hits a Superman punch on Dash Wilder, who's the legal man. Roman goes for a spear. Bobby looks like he's going to tag in Roman Reigns. Roman's like, I don't think so. Scott Dawson goes after Roman. Roman moves. Bobby gets knocked off the apron. Spear on Scott Dawson. Dash Wilder rolls up Roman Reigns and actually pins Roman Reigns, and the Revival get a pretty big win. What? The Revival are here? The Revival are a thing? Like up until last week, the Revival have done precisely nothing, and it sucks that that has happened. And them getting this win, well, might not mean a whole lot because, well, you know, they're having internal problems, you know. But still, the Revival getting a big win over multiple-time former world champions in Roman Reigns, 3-time world champion, and Bobby Lashley, 4-time TNA world champion. That's a pretty big win, and that is probably the biggest win the Revival have had on the main roster so far. Now, get them involved in the tag team championship picture, please. After the match, Bobby's just like, yeah, nice one, Roman. Yeah. Let me finish this next time. You know, if this ever happens again, let's just let me finish it, sort of deal. Which I found pretty comical. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt do a promo and saying that, oh, the B Team's impersonation of them was absolutely wonderful. And then they come out of the ring. They go to the commercial break, and a bit of WWE 2K19 news. Rey Mysterio is one of the pre-order superstars for WWE 2K19. Hell yeah, Rey Mysterio back in the game. Oh, shit, I forgot to get my thoughts on the tag team match with the Revival and Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns. Again, like I said, nothing too special. Sort of building the Roman Bobby thing, them teaming up, being friends, because they're both faces, and it's like, oh no, a screw up happens, and it's just that kind of thing. Nothing really too special about it, other than the Revival gets a pinfall victory. Dash Wilder pins Roman Reigns. I never thought I would say that sentence in my life. We come back from after the WWE 2K19 commercial and all that. And Curtis Axel is once again impersonating Matt Hardy, and Bo Dallas once again impersonating Bray Wyatt. It's copy and paste once again. And if you watched last week's thing when they did that, it's same thing this week. Until it leads to a match, Curtis Axel and Matt Hardy, and Matt slipped, and then Axel landed on top of him for the 3 count, and Curtis Axel wins on Raw against Matt Hardy. Cool. After the match, Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt were like, "Oh, your resilience and your quickness to get the pinfall on me was absolutely wonderful." Round of applause. So you get that kind of deal. I always love that. I always find that pretty funny. But match wise, nothing special. Absolutely nothing special about this match. And what made this Raw, I'm gonna say this here, what made this Raw better than last week was more so the segments than the matches themselves. And I'm a big firm on if the matches are crap, then the show is crap. But the segments really made the show really good, honestly. Not really good. Like, better than last week. Which is why, like, I'm not... Okay, it's weird, because, like, I'm like, this is copy and paste, but at the same time, I'm like, this is good copy and paste. You don't see good copy and paste thing happen very often. But we get into a few clips from Sasha and Bayley. The few thus far, the Authors of Pain that are back. Welcome back, Authors of Pain. I'm glad the VC issue's been fixed. This is one of the new things that happened other than the Axel Matt Hardy match. The Authors of Pain are back finally. glad to see him back. You know, they do the thing backstage. They push around the camera crew. Titus Worldwide are there. They're like, hey, show us some respect. And they're like, oh, yeah, thanks. But no thanks. And they walked off. We get a video package of the Authors of Pain, but before they get their match and squash a couple of nobodies, Alicia Fox is back as well. Well, this is a night of returns, isn't it? Alicia Fox shows up for just a little bit, just to hug Bayley. And Angle's like, oh, yeah, Bayley, yeah, you're in a 6-man tag, and you're teaming with Sasha Banks and Ember Moon against the Riot Squad. Bayley's like, no. I'm not having any of it. Sasha was kind of the same thing as well during what the music was playing and all that. Bayley's like, no. I don't want anything to do with teaming up with Sasha Banks. No. No. But Angle's like, yeah, this is your last chance to do that, or else. Ooh, what's the or else mean? Well, we'll figure that out in a minute. But is the Authors of Pain versus Rich and Rick Gibson. Squash match, Authors of Pain back, and they won with the last chapter. They beat him down afterwards, and then Titus Worldwide come running down. So it looks like they're going to be facing the Authors of Pain. Okay, I guess first rivalry, big rivalry, you know. Whoop-de-doo. You know, backstage, Corbin is, you know, kind of doing a thing that a lot of people were probably thinking at the beginning of this before what happens later on. And I'll get to that in a little bit. Corbin's like, yeah, why are you teaming Bayley and Sasha together? They were fighting each other last week. That's not a good idea. Balor comes in. He's like, hey, why did Brock Lesnar pull out a deal? I wanted my rematch. And Corbin's like, hey, I beat you last week. You're not worthy. Braun Strowman comes in and he's like, you know what? I feel bad for what I've done to Kevin Owens. I want to be his friend. I want to be his partner tonight. Angle being there, just like, who? Braun's like, how about these two right here? And Angle playing the little ironic thing to do, being like, hey, Corbin was just talking about partners not communicating. Let's try this. So the match is made. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. Wait, I said Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens, right? Okay. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Constable Baron Corbin for later on in the night. Ben says, check please. I actually missed that part. We come back from commercial and Alexa Bliss comes out, followed by Mickie James. Welcome back again. Seems to be a lot of returns happening tonight. How did I think about it? Mickie doing an introduction of Alexa Bliss. Bliss talking about how, oh, Ronda did this and she got suspended for 30 days. Then Natalya comes out after Bliss is like, hey, what I did was absolutely legal. And that Ronda is spoiled and entitled, and la about Ronda, and then Natalya comes out, defends Ronda Rousey, saying, hey, 23 days until my friend comes back, Ronda Rousey, and she's going to kick your butt. And Bliss had called out Natalya on a social media post, I believe, from what I understand. I kind of missed the segment a little bit, so I'm kind of going off of what's on here and what I've seen in pictures and so on. So, this leads to a match. Obviously, Bliss is like, hey, I have Mickie in my corner. You don't have Ronda in your corner. Natalya's like, I don't think so. Brings out Nia Jax. Bliss. Oh, no. So we get to a match with Natalya and Alexa Bliss. I also kind of missed this match as well because live streams were acting up quite a bit around this time. And Natalya gets the win out of nowhere. You know, it seems like Natalya has been kind of getting a rub as of late with her teaming up with Ronda Rousey, pinning and submitting the Raw Women's Champion, making her tap, I should say, twice within a month. And Bliss was supposed to be Raw Women's Champ. I kind of double standard a little bit, if you ask me, but Natalya won. That's the whole point. Natalya won, and yeah, it seems like Natalya's going good. After that, we get an interview from Seth Rollins. Rollins says that he's had 7 days for that loss to drive him, to motivate him to win back the Intercontinental Championship. He says McIntyre's going to have the best seat in the house when he takes his title back. Backstage after that, we see Jinder Mahal and Samir Singh taking photos, and then the Riot Squad come up, take photos, and then smash the camera, and then Jinder Mahal's like, no angriness. And then we get to, okay, this is one of the things I've been looking forward to talking about the most. Not the 6-man tag match, what happens afterwards. 6-man tag match, the Riot Squad versus Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon. Ember Moon kind of being the glue, so to speak, of the Sasha Bayley thing. And she's just like, hey, come on. We got a match to do. Nothing a lot special. And it seems like actually they are getting along together somewhat. At one point, Bayley breaks up the pinfall. when Sasha's getting pinned, saving her a bit, but ultimately the Riot Squad picks up the victory via roll-up, and then afterwards Bayley attacks Sasha Banks, beating her down, slams Sasha Banks' head into the turnbuckle. Bayley yanks Sasha Banks out of the ring to the floor, grabs Sasha Banks, throws her to the steel steps, does it again. Then she leans over and says that this is for the past few years that you think you're better than me and you ain't shit. If you guys didn't catch that, she actually said, I'm not making this up, you ain't shit. And and it just that is ruined in a few moments. Or maybe we'll see. But yes. Even on the bias side of me, that because Sasha is my favorite female wrestler, is screaming bitch. This is not bias me. I love this. I absolutely love this. And I think the crowd did too. Not really about the fact that this is a Bayley heel turn. Okay, this is a Bayley heel turn. Okay, there was no clear heel turn in the very beginning. You know, Sasha pushing her down was like, maybe a tease. Bayley beating her up backstage, and then Sasha getting the better hands, like, a bit of a tease. Bayley throwing the water bottle, a bit of a tease. And then this is no questions. The turn is complete. Bayley turned heel, and some people will say it's unjust. Some people will say it's not unjust. Or some people will say it's unjust. Some people will say it's justified. Either way of the spectrum, if you're Team Bayley or Team Sasha, either or. Team Sasha. Coming down. Cough. We get in Angle telling the ref, hey, bring Bayley over here to my office now. Owens is like, no, I can't be partners with Braun. He wants to eat me alive. Angle says, this will be a beautiful friendship. Owens is like, and leaves. No way, Jose. Conga line happens. Mojo Rawley comes out. He has a promo against a cheeseburger. Now, why is that a thing? These are the questions that we wonder on this episode of Raw as well. There's a few questions brought up as well. At the end, Mojo socks him in the mouth. No match, no rematch. And I think I kind of wanted a rematch more than what we got because Mojo was resorted to do a promo on a cheeseburger. On Todd. Now, remember the last time some random nobody was used as a jobber? James Ellsworth? Does that ring a bell? Yeah. Because that was the thing. We get Kurt Angle getting Bayley into office. He's like, hey, no, you two need to get along. I'm being a middle school principal. You got to go to counseling. Oh, but I don't want to go to counseling, Bayley says. Kurt Angle says, hey, you're going to go to counseling or you're fired. Now, an argument could definitely be made that this ruined it. But here's what I will say. I'm not a fan of this, but I will be fine with it if on one condition. We get Dr. Shelby. Please, if you're going to do this, at least make it good. Bring Dr. Shelby in for one time. Please. If it worked with Team Hell, no. Kind of, sort of, but not really. It's going to work with Bayley. Not really. In the sense that Bayley's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm a good little girl. And then beats up Sasha Banks again and again and again. Which leads to a match at Extreme Rules because Bayley will finally grow a set by that time. And hey, remember the last time Bayley was at Extreme Rules? In a kendo stick match with Alexa Bliss? What's that? You don't want to remember that? I don't blame you, because me either. It's going to be the opposite of that. But then this next match happens. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor and Constable Corbin. Again, 4 competitors, the same 4 in a tag match, except the roles are reversed. It's Braun and Owens versus Balor and Corbin, whereas it was Braun and Finn last week versus Corbin and Owens. Not that a whole lot special about this match. This is more so a comedy matchup. Let's be real. Braun Strowman is basically the comedy guy, you know, making the laugh, shoulder block, tags in Owens, you know. He's like, do it. Does it on Balor. Runs to Corbin, clothesline. You have the problems between Balor and Corbin. They beat each other up on the outside. Braun and Kevin went by countout. Kevin wants a handshake. Braun's like, okay, this partnership isn't going well. I'm going to eat you now. Owens runs away, hides out. We get back from commercial break after Owens hides. He grabs his bags out of the coach's locker room, might I add, if anyone noticed that. He runs, tries to find his keys. Valet's like, I don't have your keys. Owens is like, where are my keys? Valet's like, he's got them. And who is he? Braun Strowman has them. Oh no. Braun's like, hey, here's your keys. You better have insurance. You might want to look at your car. And what's a Braun Strowman thing gonna do? What's a Braun Strowman gonna do? What does he like doing? Oh, he likes flipping cars or big trucks. And, well, Owens' car ended up being upside down for some reason. Don't know how. Don't know how, but it did. And honestly, I saw something, and I kind of want to wish this one time Braun would have just smashed the car. If I'm being honest, should have smashed it. Missed opportunity there. But before our last match of the evening, I have not even looked at the comments yet. I'm going to go ahead and look at them real quick in just a moment, just to get you guys' thoughts below on this episode, or this week's episode of Raw, before we get into the Intercontinental Championship main event of the evening. Veltamania was better than Raw. Yes, it was. Rey Mysterio, WWE 2K19. Yes, Mr. Shield of Balor Castle. It was. But up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event of the evening. Dolph Ziggler defending the Intercontinental Championship against Seth Rollins. I'm not going to go over a lot of the details of this matchup. McIntyre ends up midway through the match, gets ejected from ringside. Ziggler and Rollins have an absolute classic. Rollins looks like he's going to get the pin after the superplex to the Falcon Arrow, but then McIntyre has to go and ruin it and pulls the referee out, causing a disqualification. Dolph retains the Intercontinental Championship. Then Roman Reigns comes out and helps because friends, right? And it's weird because Roman is involved with this, but he's also involved with Lashley. And wait. Is that multi-man match still on by any chance? We'll have to see. But Dolph Ziggler retains the Intercontinental Championship. But Seth Rollins does pick up the victory. So perhaps maybe a rematch for the Intercontinental title at Extreme Rules to kind of cap off this little out-of-nowhere rivalry, so to speak, with Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler over the Intercontinental Championship. And like I said, overall, a very copy-and-paste Raw, but they did it better than what they did last week. I will say that. Like the Ziggler and Seth Rollins matchup, they did it better this week than they did last week. Even though last week was a, what? Ziggler won the belt? That's a bit of a shock. The Sasha Bayley thing continuing. You're like, okay, well, how could this get any better? You have Bayley heel turn happening. Definitely heel turn, and I can't wait to see Bayley as a heel. Because Bayley, as a heel, you could cut this huckable crap off. Please. What else? Let me go through. The Braun and Owens Finn Corbin thing. That was pretty much the same. Just the fact that roles were switched. And then, also, one of the lines that Braun Strowman used that was really, really not nice when he was asking the random concessions guy where Kevin Owens was. And the guy was just like, oh, I don't know who he is. And Braun's like, the guy that looks like he has a bowling ball underneath the shirt. And I'm like, well, that's not very nice, Braun. And you're one to talk about weight. But that one just kind of a big repeat. Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens doing their own thing because Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. Because Kevin Owens has been a punching bag to Braun Strowman as of late until Braun Strowman turns heel at SummerSlam. There. Prediction on what's going to happen at SummerSlam with the Universal Championship because it's finally going to come back to Raw. Finally, please. Because right now, it's irrelevant as hell right now. Paul Heyman's Facebook quote. I'm not, I don't know if I've read all of Facebook quote. The Natalia Alexa Bliss thing was new. There were a few things that were new, but a lot of the things were pretty similar as opposed when it comes to like copy and paste, and all that. What's it called? All this pain thing was new, that the actors are getting the win. Yeah, overall, pretty much a lot of things from last week were copied and pasted onto this week's episode of Raw with new stuff attached to it. And those new things kind of made this the better Raw than what it was last week. So overall, very watchable. Very, very watchable Raw, especially the main event. Main event was great. And overall, the show was a pretty solid episode. Not for the matches. Most of the matches were meh, like meh, like Authors of Pain and Axel and Matt Hardy. Not really caring about those matches. You know, but the segments and the things that happened before and after the matches are kind of what helped advance the storylines a bit in a very good way. So, overall, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Raw Rebound. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you thought about this Raw down below. If you thought this was basically a repeat and you didn't really like it, or if you liked it better the way you did last week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you guys tomorrow for the SmackDown discussion, episode number 2, where I believe the main event is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy for the United States Championship. That should be fun. But thank you guys for watching. This has been Cody Predator, shooting for them as always, and we will see you on the next one. Peace. Bang! Oh, wait, hang on. I don't care if we're live on here. Okay, I'm going to pull another situation, damn it. We're going to say that line again, okay? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Bang!